And sometimes, passion is born long before you even know its power. In the rolling hills of Modena, Italy, a boy named Enzo Ferrari was captivated by the roar of engines and the shimmer of fast cars. He was small, quiet, and endlessly curious. Not the kind of boy you'd assume would one day define luxury, speed, and racing history. Yet every time he heard a car pass his village, his heart leapt. And by the age of 10, he was sure of one thing: his future would be on four wheels. And sometimes, you have to leave the path everyone expects you to follow. Enzo enrolled in college like his parents hoped. But in the classroom, his thoughts kept drifting to engines and racetracks, not textbooks. He had no patience for lectures or tests. So one day, against all advice, he quit. Without a degree, without a safety net, with only a racing poster pinned to his wall and a burning hunger to chase the sound of a perfect engine. And though most would have called him reckless, Enzo saw it as freedom, the first step toward becoming who he was truly meant to be. And sometimes, the road to greatness is carved in speed. Enzo's hands were soon grease-streaked, his nights spent leaning over engines, learning by doing. He scraped together every lira he could to enter his first races, often driving himself. And when he finally felt the thrill of competition, it was like a fire had been lit in his chest. Each race was more than sport. It was a challenge, a test of skill, will, and character. And though the world still doubted him, Enzo was already shaping the future in his mind, one lap at a time. And sometimes it's not about the trophies, it's about earning respect. By his early 20s, Enzo was racing for Alfa Romeo, a daring young driver with hands that could tame the most unruly machines. He didn't come from wealth. He didn't have a famous last name. But what he had was nerve, skill, and an almost stubborn love for racing. Every race was another test. Every win and every loss earned him credibility. He wasn't just chasing podiums. He was making connections with the people who built the cars, fueled the sport, and shaped its future. And slowly, the name Enzo Ferrari began to circulate in garages and pit lanes as one to watch. And sometimes, the most powerful ideas begin in the smallest workshops. But driving wasn't enough for Enzo. He wanted to design, to craft his own machines from the ground up. And so, in 1929, he founded Scuderia Ferrari as a racing team under Alfa Romeo, a tiny operation built on big ambitions. With every victory, every modified engine, every bold innovation, Enzo was honing his true craft, engineering and vision. And soon, Scuderia Ferrari was more than just a team. It was a legend in the making. Yet inside him, a deeper hunger grew, to create something that was entirely his. A car with his own name on the hood. When World War II paused racing across Europe, most thought Ferrari's story was over. But Enzo was just beginning. While factories were shut and the world was at war, he was designing in his head, sketching ideas for a car that would match the fire in his soul. And as the smoke of the war cleared, he took a risk that few would dare. He left Alfa Romeo to go all in on his own company. No safety net, no rich backers, just his unyielding will and a dream of a car that could outshine any other on the track. And with that gamble, the first true Ferrari was about to roar to life. And sometimes, true greatness is built one perfect machine at a time. In 1947, the first car bearing the Ferrari name roared onto Italian roads, the Ferrari 125S. And it was everything Enzo had dreamed. Sleek, powerful, elegant, and faster than anything anyone had seen before. That car, and the machines that followed, weren't just vehicles. They were a bold declaration that Enzo Ferrari had arrived. From Grand Prix circuits to winding country roads, Ferrari's cars became the standard for what racing could be. A perfect balance of beauty and speed, And as his cars began to win, again and again, so did his legend. The world began to recognize the prancing horse emblem as a symbol of passion and excellence, a direct reflection of the man who created it. And if one determined dropout could change the world, imagine what you can do. Enzo Ferrari would spend his life forever driven by perfection, by speed, by the impossible pursuit of better. And though he passed away in 1988, his influence never truly left the track. His name forever stamped on some of the most desirable cars in history. Ferrari remains the brand that young racers dream of and collectors covet, an enduring reminder that one man's bold vision can ignite a legacy spanning generations. And all because a boy from Modena refused to take the safe path. He listened to the roar in his heart and built an empire that will race forever.